This item can help you trigger things far away even if they are high up or behind several walls. Like how in this roller coaster, when I pass here, a door that is all the way up there closes and removes the wall of magma. But it can also create other cool things, like for example an escape room or a house that turns on the lights when you enter. This is a very underrated item that can do a lot of interesting things, but I don't see many people making use of it, and many don't even know what they could be doing with that. So I'll show you all you need to know about it. I want to save your time, so you have timestamps if you want to find specific topic quickly. Let's go. This is a wireless power transmitter switch. Let's call it electric switch to make it easier. And you can get that in its non-switch counterpart by completing a request from Porygon. You can get Porygon with this environment. A lot of these required items are easily found in Sparkling Skylands. After that, Porygon will give you a request that basically requires having a CD player playing some music for it, and then it will give you the recipe for these items. And these are the basics of how it works. The regular block acts just like the utility pole, but without power lines, allowing you to transfer electricity from one point to the other. The black lines show if you are connected to another block, and the yellow lines show you which electronics are connected to this block. The switch version, however, when connected to an item that uses electricity, allows you to turn that item on and off. Now, this is a secret. You can make interesting setups with it because with a single one of them, you can cover some considerable distance to activate an item remotely, instead of having to chain multiple sensors with hatches. Sensors are also good, but the challenge with them is that if you want to activate something above you, you need to create a complex chain of items to get there. But this item has a decent vertical range as well, meaning you can immediately activate an electric item a bit above the switch. Now, if you use it to turn on a fan, a sensor can pick that up and then trigger more things, so you're not limited to electronics at all. I like using the fan because it's cheap, but if you prefer using Pokémon, the washing machine and air conditioner are also possible alternatives. There are, however, a few big caveats with these setups. First, the fan needs to already be on before you start messing with electricity, otherwise nothing happens. Second, these items only trigger a sensor every 2 activations. This is because when the device goes on, the sensor picks it up, but when it goes off, it doesn't trigger. And the air conditioner, when activated by a sensor or directly, will only trigger another sensor every 3 activations. This is because when you trigger it, it goes on with cold air, and that's when it triggers the sensor as well. The second time you activate it, it changes from cold air to hot air, and the third time it goes off. So it goes trigger, no trigger, no trigger, again trigger. You get the idea. I'm sure if you're creative, you can make some wild combinations with this though. One way to prevent this is by adding a few more items. Having a second fan in range of the sensor and ensuring that it's connected to a different switch, and this switch is always on when the other one is off, and vice versa. By doing that, then every time you activate a sensor on a wall switch connected to both of them, then you get a different fan turning on and activating the sensor. And also, unfortunately, you cannot chain electric switches easily. Here's why. If we want to close that hatch, the first time, this fan is off, no triggers. Second time, this goes on, and that goes off. Third time, this goes off. Fourth time, this goes on, that goes on, and finally we close the hatch. With the double fan trick, you could probably avoid this, but at that point you might as well be using a chain of hatches and sensors instead to make it easier. But there are some very cool practical uses for this, and now I'll show you some. Let's say you have a custom house full of electronics. You could have a switch hooked to the wall that activates the electric switch and powers all of them. Or maybe a sensor at the entrance that turns lights on when you enter and off as you leave. And this is a small example. You could go wild and hide the sensors inside the walls or make it much bigger. Another cool use case is automatic lava walls. I made this concept in this roller coaster. There's a door holding back lava all the way here, and inside the cave we pass through a sensor that will close the gate, so the lava wall closes on time. And there is also a second sensor as well, which ensures that it will close the gate, just in case the electric switch is not in the right state to trigger the fan. You know, that thing we just talked about the double activations. You could also try making an escape room. Now, this one is a simple concept, but imagine this. You need to go through that door, but it won't open because there's no electricity. This switch here activates that block, which powers this door. And then this switch activates that block, which powers the final door. I know you can go wild with this concept and making something very cool and much bigger than this basic example. And don't forget that on a cloud island, visitors who don't have permission to change things cannot remove items, so you can build cool rooms where they are forced to go through the whole process the way you designed it, since they cannot remove any items. And finally, maybe you could make a prison for Mr. Mime, where you can safely enter the middle room to give him food, because we're not monsters, then leave and open his door. Safety first, just in case. Or you can take this whole thing to the next level by learning everything about sensors and other types of triggers. This is the next video I am making, so consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see that. If you like this, you may also enjoy one of these other videos in the channel, so consider checking them out as well. This is Geek Labs, and I'll see you soon.